Georgia Living podcast. I'm Celine, and unfortunately, this is Chris.
Hi.
Shifty eyes next to me for some reason.
I'm her husband. She can't get rid of me, whether she likes it or not. Welcome to the show.
All right. So Constitution Week is here.
Woo! Constitution Week!
And it's the one symbol of freedom you can see and hear year-round in Marietta Square. We have a reproduction of the Liberty Bell. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's great. It was
like
cast
the one in Philadelphia.
the Liberty Bell. That's
The
right.
one.
So it was cast by the same foundry in London that made the original. They also made
Without the crack.
well, ours doesn't have the crack.
No.
Yeah. So that crack actually came over. There was cracked twice. The first time was in shipping. When it came over across the Atlantic for the actual Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
And there was a second crack that happened, I guess, during assembly.
Ooh.
But it's funny because the crack is actually what makes the sound a little bit different.
Yeah.
So Big Ben, the bell in Big Ben in London, was also cast by the same foundry.
What?
And that bell has a crack in it too, because I guess they used a hammer that was too hard to ring it the first time, and it cracked like on the first. It seemed like, from what I was reading, it cracked on like the first go around. So that crack has been there since. Interesting stuff,
Same
right?
foundry, same things. I mean, come on, y'all's bells crack. So, what?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later, but we've got a very Americana episode for y'all today. We're going to talk a little bit about Constitution Week. We're going to talk about our Liberty Bell. We'll talk about some headlines, what's happening in Cobb. We've got some interesting stuff happening in the school district, and we'll talk about some patriotic stuff for your house, along with a little bit of Georgia history and the role that we played in the American Revolution and signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Well, Constitution Week is observed every single year.
Well, hey, before we get into that,
What?
if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share. While I'm thinking about it, because it's not in the show notes, so that's not your fault. That's mine. But while I'm thinking about it, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share. Leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Hit the bell on YouTube, and that way you're always going to catch what we're discussing every week when we're in the studio.
Am I good to go?
You're good to go. Back to you, honey.
I can talk about Constitution
Absolutely.
Week? Okay. So Constitution Week is every year, September 17th to 23rd, and it's to commemorate the signing of the U.S. Constitution, which is on September 17th. Today is the 16th, so tomorrow in Philadelphia. I learned a lot about Gouverneur Morris. Have you ever heard about him?
No, I haven't.
Well, if you've actually read the Constitution and We the People, guess who wrote the full first paragraph?
He wrote the full first paragraph?
Now, no one knows how to say his name because it's spelled really weird. It's like governor, but
Governor.
It's like, it has a U in it, and then
Governor.
it looks
I
like
don't know.
Gouverneur. Anyways,
Old Govey.
so this is thanks to a petition in 1955 by the Daughters of the American Revolution. Dwight D. Eisenhower made it official in 1956, so we have a Constitution Week.
Very
ever
cool.
Since then, so yay, go DAR!
So what's the purpose of Constitution Week, honey?
Yes, so it's one of the most important documents in America. So hey, you have to learn about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's to educate the citizens about the role of this document in our life, because it still does affect our life every day. Now, it encourages reflection and give this time to think about the rights and responsibilities of our citizenship, and also to inspire civic participation and understanding of our freedoms. So it's quite a bit that Constitution Week entails.
Yeah.
It's not just one day, it's an entire week. There are a few traditions that we have locally in Cobb County. One of them is nationwide. It's called the Ringing of the Bell Ceremony. And nationwide on September 17th at 4 p.m. At the local time, not, if we're in Georgia, the California, local time, 4 p.m. And that is when you ring bells, whatever bells you can get your hands on. We have a really cool one at Glover Park. So that is an event that's going to happen tomorrow, Wednesday, the 17th of September at 3 p.m. at Glover Square.
Yeah.
So if you can make it out, make sure you're there at 3 p.m. We usually have a nice speaker. It's a cute get-together with maybe some historical clothing, and we'll be ringing that historic bell.
Yeah,
Same one.
So that bell, you can't hear it throughout the year because they keep the clapper away. Yeah, otherwise, for a good reason. It's right next to the playground. You'd have a million kids ringing it. It's pretty loud.
It's like Georgia's bell, whenever it just rings the whole time.
Yeah,
except we got really excited one year and we pulled off the bell ringer, the rope.
Yeah.
1 year. That's all right.
So the Constitution Week celebration, get there at 3, Glover Park in the square. At 3:30, there's usually a presentation, a proclamation is read. There's usually a speaker. Last year we had a local music artist perform. So great time. You can usually see at least 1 or 2 of your county commissioners there. And then at 4 o'clock, they'll ring the Liberty Bell. And last year and the year before, all of the churches in the square participated in the ringing of the bells too. So you're not just hearing the replica Liberty Bell, you're hearing all of our churches around the square. So there's like 8, 10, 12 churches that are all just going off at the same time.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it really is. So great event. If you can, if you've got the elementary school age kids, grab them out of school and go to the Glover Park. You can get there around 3, and it's a great thing for them to experience. We've taken our kids before, and they've really enjoyed it and appreciated it, and it helps integrate a little bit of patriotism. There we go.
And they have something to relate to whenever they're learning about this in the classroom.
Yes, but there's more traditions here as well, and one of the things that you and DAR do is to help educate the kids in Cobb County.
Yeah, so we make 52 or 3 packets of DAR stuff, I want to say, but it has to do with the Constitution. It has to do with making it easier for the teachers to teach about that document in their classroom. So like some word searches that they can copy or whatever they need to do with that information.
So it's like a lesson plan on the Constitution for the teachers.
In a way.
Yeah.
But it also has a cute little bell in that packet.
Nice.
And I believe this year we had a little chapter book, so...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, every year they expect us during Constitution Week. They're going to be like, where are the DAR ladies?
And you guys go to, or you ladies go to
every
elementary schools or every school?
Every elementary school in Cobb County. Yeah.
That's awesome.
50-something of them. We all split them up and we all go to them and say, here you go. Here's your packet for this year. And we've gotten quite a few thanks, too, because even... one of the teachers emailed me back saying, hey, thanks, I can copy and use this for next week's lesson. So we're like, okay, great.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. I love it. What other traditions are out there?
For Constitution Week? There's actually a lot still. There are proclamations that are made. I don't attend all of these because they are done at the city level.
Yeah.
Like City of Smyrna or Marietta.
Council meetings, that kind of stuff.
Right. So I've been to, one, which is really nice because once you're there, they're not there just to make a proclamation for Constitution Week. They're also there to hold a real meeting, right?
Yeah.
And so your proclamation might be at the very beginning or very end. Who knows? But you get to see all the cool things that are happening in your community. When I was in Smyrna last year for their proclamation for Constitution Week, we had students from Campbell High School come, and I had no idea they're going to be there, but they were promoting a play that was coming up. And these kids got up there, they had the courage, and they asked, hey, can you promote this? Can you come and see us and what we've been doing? So I liked it for reasons other than just the proclamation, but it's pretty cool too when you get a proclamation.
I love it. Well, I think Constitution Week is more than just history, right? It's a living reminder of the freedoms that we have, and that they require responsibility. So whether you're ringing a bell, reading the preamble with your kids, or just pausing, take a moment to reflect. This week is the week to connect with the foundation about our democracy. And if you're
let's talk more about this bell though, because it's so cool that we have one that is from the same foundry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what foundry is this?
This is the Whitechapel Bell Foundry.
Uh-huh.
All right, so here's a little history on the Whitechapel Bell Foundry.
Okay.
Because this place goes back over 450 years. It was founded in 1570, and it closed in 2017. That's how long this place was going for. They cast the original Liberty Bell in 1752. And Big Ben in 1858. So the Liberty Bell is over 100 years older than Big Ben, which researching this and kind of learning about this, that was surprising to me. I didn't realize that Big Ben was so young. They have produced bells worldwide, from the Liverpool Cathedral to Washington's Congress bells. They've done World War II munitions work. Later handbells that were, I guess they surged in popularity due to like Downton Abbey, like towards the end of the foundry before they closed in 2017. They cast the 9/11 Bell of Hope, the 2012 Olympic Bell, and the Royal Jubilee bells. And the last bell that they poured was in 2017 for the Museum of London. So Marietta's bell was installed in 1976 in Marietta Square for the bicentennial, and it was donated by the Marietta JCs. They're not around anymore, but that was the Junior Chamber of Commerce. A lot of those same people have moved on there in Rotary or Kiwanis or any of that stuff, but there are plenty of people around from that still working and engaged in our community. It was moved. It was in a different location in Glover Park. It was moved in 1984 to 85 when they did a bunch of renovations. And this was cast, so the one that we have in Marietta Square was cast in the same year as the bicentennial bell, which was an actual gift from Queen Elizabeth to the United States in 1976.
Oh.
So it was the same year that Marietta's bell was installed. Was the foundry produced two for America, I guess, maybe more.
Where's Queen Elizabeth's bell?
That's a good question. Hang on.
I feel like all these bells are coming out of the woodwork. Like
the bicentennial bell is in Independence Hall, I believe.
Oh.
It is, I know it's in Washington. Let's see. To commemorate the 200th anniversary of American independence, the British people presented the United States with the bicentennial bell, cast at Whitechapel. Independence National Historic Parks Visitors Center, July 6, 1976. So, Independence National Historical Park. Where is that? Google.
I think it's so cool that they have such a long history. And
Philadelphia.
Okay, so the same place. From that to Big Ben to the Congress bells that brings them out to the floor, to the 9/11 Bell of Hope, the London 2012 Olympics bell, and even the Royal Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth.
Right? So cool.
There's just like so many cool things. I wonder what it is about bells that's timeless, like
Yeah.
It doesn't require electronics.
So if you want to see something cool, it's very historical. If you look at the Wikipedia page for the Whitechapel Bell Foundry, they have their a lineage of their master founders, and it dates back to the 1400s of who was, like, I guess it's by birth year. So if it started in the 1500s, you had somebody working from the 1400s, and it's changed names over the years, right? When the Liberty Bell was made, it wasn't the Whitechapel, it was something else.
Same company,
but it was the same company, and it had kind of changed names over the years. The company officially closed in 2017. They sold the rights and the patents for their bells to another company that they had been working with for almost 200 years. It was like a Forge or something like that. But it just goes to show you how much history you can find in one item, in one little tiny section of our town. It's really cool.
This handbell thing really gets to me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what a handbell... I guess it's just like one of the bells with a handle on it?
So each bell has a tone.
Yeah.
It's like a key on a keyboard. So you have to ring the bell to play that note. So you have a whole bunch of bells in front of you, and then you're basically piano shaking the bell your way through the song. Right?
Yeah.
That's what handbells are. So you've got a lot of, like, oh God, travel must be terrible.
Oh yeah, they're
huge.
They are huge. Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking they would be, right? It's just a bell upside down with a handle, and then you can hold the handle. But I didn't realize that these things look like they're like 20, like 2 feet long. Like it's they're like 8 inches around. They're giant bells.
You know, they would have really made a killing, and they wouldn't have had to close down in 2017 if they lived in, what is that team, that no-name team that has some cowbell and, you know, out there playing football with cowbells.
Cowbells.
I don't know. Never heard of a team that has cowbells?
No, but
No.
Oh, is that
I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, is that Oklahoma?
No,
Who
SEC.
Who does the cowbells in SEC? Obviously, It's been a long time since I've been to that game. What are you talking about?
The cowbells.
Who does cowbells?
You don't know?
Mississippi State.
Yeah?
No, I've never given that school much attention, so I'm sorry.
That's all I know about them. It's cowbells.
I just know that they're also a
No
bulldog,
offense, y'all.
but they haven't won. So if you're a Mississippi State fan, I am sorry that I did not know that about y'all.
What do you mean? Every time we play them, they're like ringing their bells.
I don't pay attention to their fans.
All right.
I pay attention to the score, and every time Georgia plays Mississippi State, the score is wide enough that I don't have to pay as close attention to the game as I did this past week against Tennessee. That was a good game.
That's okay.
That was too
Mississippi
good.
State people, we love y'all too.
Oh, yeah. SEC is better than any other conference. So
Well, anyways, let's talk about Cobb.
let's talk about Cobb.
Yeah.
What's going on in Cobb?
Cherokee Street. Did you know it's widening?
Yes. So they approved this recently. This was last week in the headlines at MDJ. There's going to be a section of Cherokee Street that they're going to widen to 3 lanes. So
About time.
a little bit of reprieve there. It's only going to be a small section. Cherokee Street's not that long anyway. So hopefully it'll alleviate some traffic. We'll see. I think that starts next year. But if I remember correctly from the article, it's SPLOST funds that are going to be paying for that.
Well, so can you tell me about this boot fee increase for commercial vehicles?
Yeah, so I believe this is Marietta City. This was in the MDJ as well.
Okay, what's a boot fee?
So a boot fee is if your car is towed.
Oh, that kind of boot.
Or well, maybe not boot, or booted, not towed, but like you're ticketed, you're booted. So for commercial vehicles, that fee is going like way up. I think the number was like in the $400 range.
Ooh.
And this is just, I guess the city might be having some issues with parking enforcement and et cetera.
Oh, so these are like the delivery trucks that come and then park right in front or something like that?
Well, it said for commercial vehicles, so I'm not sure, but I would imagine, this is going to be your delivery. This is going to be, people who are just kind of not paying attention.
Okay, well, there's also an ethics code amendment that was tabled. I know nothing about this, so please inform me.
Let me see if I can find that because I don't remember this one off the top of my head.
Well, what about the Reverend Nelson Price Memorial Pathway? That's just been approved.
So Reverend Nelson Price he passed away August 30th. He was the pastor emeritus at Roswell Street Baptist Church. So this is there's a pathway that Marietta is working on as they're improving their walkability, and they're going to be naming this in his name. So very cool there. The ethics amendment in Marietta. Hang on. It was they just tabled some changes. So I don't think that's really anything big. They have...
Well, okay, let's talk about the Strand then.
Yeah.
It's their 90th anniversary.
Yes! This is so cool. And the Strand is doing so many cool things this year. I know we have tickets for the Great Locomotive Chase to go and watch this with the kids. Did you know that they are doing this the way that the film premiered in the 50s? So we're going to get there about 30 minutes early.
Okay.
And they will have a grand organ accompaniment. And there's like a ceremony that they're doing.
It wasn't a silent film.
No, it's not silent, but they have like a proclamation. Like it was a big thing when they had the Great Locomotive Chase.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the intro for the movie the way that they did it in 1957 or whenever it was that the movie was premiered. So we're going to get there about 30 minutes early. It's not like super early, and there'll be a little show before they start the movie, and they're going to introduce it the way that it was introduced when the movie first premiered in the 50s at the Strand.
Like an actual person saying, this is the Great Locomotive Chase, and...
whatever it is. So Andy Gaines is one of the people that know everything that's going on at the Strand. He works there, and he was telling me briefly about it. I couldn't remember everything that he said, but he was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. You're going to love it. The kids are going to love it. So I'm excited to be there. There's also a bunch of holiday events and shows and all sorts of stuff going on at the Strand. There's more comedy shows coming. I tell you what, they put on some really cool stuff. And, their VIP package, like you can go to the Strand, have a great night out, front row seats, and you can do it so often. You can do it as much as you want because it's right in your backyard. It's not like going to Atlanta where you can do like 2 shows a year.
Well, I think it's the commute, right? I mean,
it's the commute.
It's the time that it eats out of your day. I mean, this is in our backyard.
Yeah.
So, hey, really cool.
The Strand's a non-profit, so there's no tax on any of your drinks.
You get, one of those giant bucket kind of drinks that you can share, and that's about...
I mean, the concessions are cheap.
$5, I want to say, maybe $3.
I mean, the cocktails are $8. The sodas are $3. It's very affordable. So, if you're in Marietta and you're like me, you've never been to the Strand until this year, and the moment you go, you never want to stop going. I think we've done.
And pretty much that's our conclusion.
Yeah.
Is that hey, this place is so cool. It's got so many throwback vibes that. I love that small town. I almost feel like it should be called the Majestic, like...
It kind of feels like that.
It kind of does, because it's like this magical little place that you go in, and it's... a time warp.
Oh yeah, and tying in with history, the whole square or the whole Strand, those are the original seats. They were all reupholstered. A lot of that theater is original, and it's so cool because there's as far as Georgia goes, there's not much history in the state compared to other states.
Well, because it all burned down.
Yes. The Strand, lots of history there. It's very cool. So absolutely love going there. We went once, and then I bought a bunch of stuff. Let's talk about 9/11 because we just had that last week, and the Kennesaw Mountain High School, their JROTC team did a 9/11 remembrance. The Marietta Kiwanis had flags lining Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park, and
Walton and Pope also did the flags, the little small flags. They planted them into the ground, and they did 2,000 something of them for every single person that lost their lives that day.
Yeah, there's a lot of flags.
Oh my gosh! And when you look at it, you're like, your stomach clenches because you're like, that many people in one day,
It's a lot.
Ugh.
And, Pope had the whole roundabout in front of the high school covered in flags and spelling out USA, which was really cool.
I loved it. Thank you, Pope.
Yes. And, on that, there was a headline that kind of caught my eye in a disgusting sort of way, and that is just thoughts with Mulkey Enterprises, one of our local businesses. They've put out flags for 9/11 for like the last 4 years, and I was reading in the MDJ, they've had it stolen every year. It was out for a few days, and then they get it, and the flags are stolen. So
small flags or big flags?
I don't know. It seemed like big flags based off of how the article was written. So, Mulkey, guys, keep it up. You get those stolen, keep putting them out. We love it.
If y'all are so desperate to steal a flag, call me. I could help you get one.
Speaking of flags.
You don't have to steal it.
Speaking of flags, huge props this summer to the Marietta Kiwanians for Memorial Day, for 4th of July, and for Labor Day. Us and a lot of other Kiwanians were out there laying all the flags along Atlanta Street, around Glover Park, and doing all the pickup. So that is a fundraiser, if you didn't know. Those flags are paid for by our community if they want flags put out. And what ends up happening is last year we raised over $32,000 and gave away, I want to say, like 13 or 14 scholarships to children in Cobb County going to college. 2 of those were scholarships that went to vocational schools. So that's a new one that was added in.
Yeah.
There's a ton of scholarships, and that's one big thing that our Marietta Kiwanians do. So huge kudos to those.
And DAR, Fielding Lewis, does help you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
saw you and all the ladies out there helping us. It was great. It was...
What's really funny is that you showed up in your Kiwanis shirt.
Yeah.
I showed up in my DAR, and then one of the ladies looks at me and says, "Oh, he's in Kiwanis? That's funny."
Well, yeah, they don't know me from like all my groups. They know me from helping you as a HODAR, which is husband of DAR.
Yeah.
So it is funny. It's like nice. I'm always volunteering at your events. It's nice that y'all ladies came out and volunteered at ours.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not a morning person, though, so that was a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't the only one either. There was another one in my group that was like, I don't like mornings. I was like, amen.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, the kids had to be in Japanese school by 9, so we had to end up dropping them off at your parents to take care of because we had to be at the square by 7. So, fun stuff.
That's all right. But hey, we got a really good tip. Go to the Australian Bakery. They have some really good coffee there in the morning.
Coffee was really good. We did.
If you are putting up American flags at the Marietta Square, please patronize the Australian Bakery. They're amazing. They've been there for years.
Yeah, go in if Rory's work and say hey. We had a tough week last week. I mean, there was a lot that happened, and I think the whole country is kind of polarized over this Charlie Kirk thing right now.
Doesn't it seem like news is so much faster than when we were kids?
It feels like it.
So quick. 6 hours passes and you're like, was that yesterday? Was it last month? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know, our good friend Callie Graham, she is coordinating in Woodstock today. There's going to be a memorial for Charlie. That's going to be in downtown Woodstock. That's all off of Cherokee Connect. If you want to go to that, you can. We have events tonight, so we can't. But I'm seeing a lot of people getting in trouble over social media posts. I feel like I haven't seen this many people getting in trouble over social media since I was graduating college and everybody was learning how to use social media. But Cobb County Schools has an investigation going on into educators' social media posts regarding Charlie Kirk's death. There's at least one. They didn't mention how many, but there are staff on leave, and the teachers union is urging caution when using social media. I don't know what it is with people. You think whatever you want with politics. Think whatever you want with people, but don't wish somebody else dead. And I think that's what this is about. Is people saying, "Oh, good, this guy is dead." I'm like, I was taught a couple of things. One, you don't speak ill of the dead. It's uncouth. And then you don't talk politics, you don't talk religion, right? You have some common courtesy when you're in settings, and I feel like we've been on a 20-year spiral with the internet kind of crashing that down.
Maybe we need a cotillion for our country.
I think we need cotillion for adults. Where is Emily Post when we need her?
Yeah.
Right?
It's post-school. It's post-secondary school.
I love it. Post-secondary school. We're going to teach you how to have manners and civility as an adult.
It's adult school.
Thoughts and prayers out to everybody who's impacted by this. It's hard, but there's other things going on too. We had kids shot up at a Catholic school. We had other people die a few weeks ago.
We're not taking a stance on anything.
No, we don't have a stance on this. Death is awful. It stinks for everybody.
Y'all be nice to each other.
One event is not more important than another, but absolutely have some civility, y'all. We're all neighbors. We don't need to be, messing with the kids, the youngins, and their opinions by trying to confuse them. Just be nice.
Well, let's talk about being a good neighbor then. Okay.
Let's talk about being a good neighbor. What are some ways that we can do that?
With Constitution Week being this week, and with all these flags being around, without the stolen ones, I'm just so upset about that. I mean, seriously.
If you're going to steal something, steal a campaign sign that says Stoner or something like that. Steal something that you can hang up in your wall.
If you're a kid.
Well, who's stealing flags as an adult? I don't know.
Anyways, so if you want to display a flag that is not stolen from Mulkey Enterprises, you want to fly it from sunrise to sunset. And I'm talking about those homes with the poles, right? The big ones.
Yeah. Well, this is flag display tips. Okay,
but really, to do it sunrise to sunset, you have to have a pole where you put it up and down. And it needs to be properly illuminated if it's 24/7. So when it's dark, the flag goes to sleep.
Yes, it does.
It goes to bed. Don't fly in storms unless it's all weather.
Yep.
But also be smart about it. The flag's going to be okay. Don't go out there in a tornado warning. You're fine. Please take cover. The Union, which is the blue field with all the stars that are representing the states, that is always going to be in your upper left when you view it, right? Not talking about when the wind blows it the other way, but when you put it up there first. Union blue, upper left. The U.S. flag always takes the position of honor when flown with others.
Has to be higher. Yeah.
And you can get rid of these flags because they're fabric and they don't last forever, especially ones that have been outside 24/7. And so worn flags should be retired in a dignified way. Local options include the American Legion posts, the VFW halls, scout troops, and some fire stations have drop-off boxes. And what happens is that these groups will have these nice ceremonies. They'll collect it maybe once or twice a year, and I think it helps them to learn a little bit more about patriotism.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Scout collection box, I think, at the intersection of Sandy Plains and Piedmont. You can go to any VFW, American Legion, some fire stations. I mean, just you could do it yourself, but it's easier to drop it off and make sure that flag is retired.
Yeah. So while flying the flag shows respect and adds curb appeal, you might be subject to the big bad scary HOA.
Yeah, and
or city rules too. There are some city rules and
there are
HOAs
ordinances
that tell you what you can and can't do with the American flag.
Yep, and just so you know, this is time and time again. If you go to the bad word HOA subreddit, I'm not going to say it, but it starts with an F and ends with a K, and it says HOA. It's a subreddit.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. You should see some of the stories in there.
I'm not on social media, so I wouldn't know.
So I follow along some of these stories because, it's my industry, and I like knowing where people have their challenges.
Yeah.
So some HOAs will not allow you to have any flags, or they may have requirements as to when flags can be flown and when they can't. And we haven't seen any of these articles hit the headlines over the last 6 or 7 years, but it was kind of big coming out of the recession, where you'd have all these people who bought into an HOA, and then as the HOA started getting funding again, and coming out of the recession, they started assessing for violations. So they would go after these people that were violating their flag ordinance. People would buy in the HOA without reading the bylaws and the declarations in their documents. They'd move in, they'd hang up a flag, and then they would take this stance that I'm a veteran, I served this country, I should have the ability to display my flag. Well, the way HOAs work is they can create restrictions on your property that are more restrictive than local county ordinances. Your county can sometimes restrict your property more than HOA restrictions. The HOA has their rules. The county or city, if you're incorporated, has their rules. The general rule of thumb is that the more restrictive covenant will apply. So if your city says that you can do something, but your HOA says that you cannot, then you cannot. You have to follow the more restrictive covenant. And if you are thinking about buying a home in an HOA, read the HOA documents. I can't tell you how much this has impacted people. You have to read thoroughly. And if somebody says verbally you can do something, you better get it in writing if the bylaws or your covenants say otherwise. Because without written approval, your documents that enforce and regulate that HOA are going to be the more restrictive. So if you have one HOA president this year that's really lax, they don't do anything, and then all these weeds start growing, the board will switch, they'll find somebody new, they'll come through and start enforcing stuff, and then you're going to have an issue. So you don't want that. Always the more restrictive.
All right, so do you want to still talk about flags, or do you want to talk about Georgia history?
I think we've kind of we've covered the flag stuff.
I think so.
As long as you're not flying like Alabama or Auburn flags, like you're probably going to be fine in most HOAs. I'm just kidding. Like that's not advice.
As long as you're SEC, we're fine. We're good.
Unless it has orange. We don't like that color. All right.
We only say that because we're Georgia grads.
Oh. We paid that college way too much money to wear any other colors for the rest of our lives.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, especially you, double dog over here.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about history. We've got the Constitution Week coming up. But, I think one thing that makes Marietta really special, and then Georgia as well, is our kind of ties to the Constitution. So we're sitting in the Select Realty Studios. We're about an eighth of a mile walk to Walton High School, and then we have Walton's
Namesake.
home
Yeah.
here in Georgia, just in Augusta, that we actually got to travel to earlier this year. So, Celine, you've done a lot of research with kind of Georgia history and George Walton and Meadow Garden, his home here in Augusta. Why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of how he ties in and how Georgia played a role in the signing of the Declaration? It's a cool story.
So Walton was one of the youngest, I think he is the youngest, signer of the Declaration of Independence. Now, I'll get back to his house, but Georgia was the very last to show up. And everything had been filled out and signed on the document. So the reason why George Walton and Gwinnett's signature is on the left side is because, well, that's where it was open. They were very late. They weren't expecting them to show up. And then all of a sudden they're there. So they're, okay, got to sign it, right? Mm-hmm. So they just took their sweet time. His house, though, is really interesting. It's been owned by DAR, Georgia DAR, and that has been since the early 1900s. This house was in disrepair. I think tenants were living in there before. I don't know what tenants were like in the early 1900s, but I can guess. Same as today.
Yeah, it would have been like a farmhouse at one point, and then it was.
Yeah, so there's wear and tear on the home. Things that go unnoticed, and sometimes after a few tenants, a property can be in disrepair, which was the state of this property, from what I understand. And so DAR has been painstakingly restoring this property. Very little at a time, one campaign after another. We found some really cool things, like an old shoe in the wall. Yeah. Needles everywhere, like sewing needles.
They had closed up a wall enclosing a staircase. And they had opened up the wall to expose the staircase. Very narrow staircase, basically. Feels like you're in between two walls going upstairs, but it was there.
Yeah, usually whenever I think of those narrow ones, I think of like servant staircases, but this house was a farmhouse, so it's not really going to be that big, But anyways, we do have a revolutionary past in Georgia, unlike other states like Oklahoma that wasn't a state until like 1907.
Yeah.
We go back pretty far. Like on my UGA ring, it says, 1785?
First land-grant college.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of time for things to happen. And so we did have some key battles in the Revolution here, notably the Siege of Savannah, the Augusta Campaign, and Kettle Creek. Every year they do things there as well, so you can even see reenactors, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's really, the ties that we have with the Constitution itself. The document is really our signers who were late. It's kind of funny that they were late, but hey, we have the furthest to travel, right? I mean, it's far. So yeah, they were a little bit tardy. I really think, though, this is a side note. So you have Gwinnett County, and Gwinnett was a signer. I love that his first name is Button.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I want to pinch his cheeks in the 1700s. Man, I'm sure he was very distinguished and very serious. But when your name is Button,
oh, right.
You're so cute. Anyways, so let's think about today's Georgia. What about our economy and what's going on now? We've had a little bit of a shakeup.
Yeah.
It's. We had an appointment this morning where we talked about the state of real estate.
Yeah, we had a listing appointment. We were talking about the market with a seller who's going to be probably getting ready to move around December, January.
Right. So, housing it's one of the largest purchases in somebody's life. And it has a lot to do with our economy because, if it's the biggest purchase, then there's a lot of money that goes with it. And the wheels of that economy start turning when houses start turning as well. We haven't really had that much movement lately. And so, we were talking about the short time period between 2020 and today, where we are today. And we had that one run-up period from 2020 to 21 where we didn't even have a winter. We just went straight through from summer, and it was just, we were exhausted.
Yeah, it was kind of like in March when everything shut down, the light switch went off. 3 months later when it opened up and rates dropped to zero, it was like this surge of power. It was like everything from the last 3 months, plus, everybody who's been on the sideline came into the market for about a year and a half until midway through 2022. So 18 months, 2 years, close to that. Midway through 2022, we start getting the interest rates ticking back up again, and all of a sudden the brakes come on. So we've dealt with this incredible whiplash effect in real estate. And
really, people don't want to move out of a 3% mortgage.
No, that's the lock-in effect, where you can't afford to move.
This mental hurdle that they have to get over. That you were saying, mortgage rates this morning were
5.875. We're in the high fives.
Now, is that with some buy downs?
No.
Ooh.
So we couldn't be in the show, or we couldn't be in the studio earlier this morning to get Rob on and talk about it. But every week, Rob sends me an update with their rate sheet for a 30-year fixed conventional 20% down, 5.875. That's top tier credit. There's FHA products out now, which is like a short term. There's like a AR, adjustable rate mortgage, I think, FHA, that Rob sent me, and that's in the 4s. It's like 5 or 7 years or something like that. But as far as the conventional lock-in, 5.875, we're back to the high fives. And for those who have purchased in the mid to high 3s or low 4s,
it sounds better.
It's a lot more. It's a lot easier to move from a 4% mortgage to a 5 7/8 than it is to go from a 4% mortgage to an 8% mortgage like we had a year and a half ago. So even better than a 4 to a 6.5, right? It's a lot better now. So if we get this rate cut, we're going to be looking good for an industry. It's going to continue pushing us back towards bringing more normalcy to our market. But just understand, we are not in a normal market. We have had fewer sales in any August on record that I can find.
Did you say normalcy?
I said normalcy. That's the correct word. Yeah. Not like normality or anything like that. That was weird.
Okay.
What? Did I say something wrong?
No. Go for it.
I'm now like second guessing myself. So, we're going to see hopefully some more movement, making things a little bit easier. But just know right now it's tough. If you're a seller, there's a buyer for 3 out of 4 homes. But that means for every 4th home, there's not enough buyers in the market for you. So you have to compete, and you have to give concessions, and you have to reduce your price until you find somebody who's willing to buy your house at the price. Otherwise, you've got to either move into the rental market. That's a challenging market as well right now, or hold the property until we get into the spring. So those are your options where we are, but making it a lot easier to stomach that move in the increased price.
So a little bit more of U.S. history. The word normalcy came in because of President Harding's campaign. Return to normalcy. But the root word is normality.
Fun fact.
But now everyone, just like
I get it from a president.
Slang, so. Nowadays everyone knows what IDK means, I don't know, or things like that. So it's kind of become part of our language. Yeah.
Well, thank you, President Harding. I do not look like a fool because you said it first. we got a little bit of a statewide outlook. Some good news happening in Georgia with our Georgia economy. So apparently, Georgia is ranked number 1 in the U.S. for the business climate. This was in the MDJ. We've had strong international expansions in the state throughout the last year. With we've had $26.3 billion invested in our state, adding 23,300 new jobs. And this is cool here. 77% of this growth happening outside the Metro Atlanta area. So our secondary, our tertiary markets throughout the state, jobs coming to them. I'm really excited to see this happen.
Didn't ICE just raid like a plant? So you got to take like a few thousand off of here. I'm just kidding.
2,300 jobs. Yeah, I think they raided Hyundai, and it was like 300 people. So maybe 23,000 even. We'll just call it a flat 23,000.
That's really cool, though, that we're ranked number 1 for business climate. I mean, I think it's so... Our area is great because we don't get hit by natural disasters as much.
I mean...
Like, we do get hit, but we don't get, like, Tornado Alley. We don't get the hurricanes.
One tornado, not 50.
Right, like one tornado, not 50.
Yeah, we'll get the tropical storm, not the hurricane.
Right, we don't have the winter weather. We don't have...
ice and hail.
The only thing that I don't like about Atlanta... Georgia area is the heat and the humidity, which nobody can fix for me other than making an air-conditioned room for me to sit in.
You can't live in the South without HVAC.
I know. You can't have it all. You can't have the dream and be cool and nice and dry at the same time. But
at least we don't have fires. We get too much rain for that.
That's true. Anyways, it's a pretty decent place to live.
Yeah. All right.
In fact, I even left North Carolina and came back.
Oh, well, that wasn't any question. Georgia. So much better than North Carolina.
Yay!
I love me some Georgia. So, we've got events coming up. Liberty Bell tomorrow. We're going to get this episode up today so that you can hear and be there. Constitution Week happening now. Lots of events coming up. East Cobb Parade was this past weekend.
I did look on the side of the street, and sure enough, there were like tiny little pieces of candy. I was like, ah!
And we are a little less than a week away from Cobb County's fall break. So we get to go.
Let us know what you're doing.
We're going to be up in LJ, hopefully doing some apple festivals. Yay. And avoiding people like the plague and just getting away.
And if you want to make applesauce, the Rome Beauties that are coming up this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of this month to early next month are going to be delicious.
Yeah, we got some September Wonders last month, and those are really good. Those were gone fast. So we'll have to stop by and grab some fresh apples while we're in LJ. And we get to... I'm swapping over the internet at the cabin. We're going to try out Starlink and see how that works. So
I don't know of anyone with Starlink, so...
A couple of buddies from Athens back in the day.
Really?
They've posted about Starlink, yeah.
Oh, so good.
We're going to try it out. I tried it in the driveway the other day with lots of obstructions and was getting like 50 megabit download, so it's cool. I'll report back. Anyway.
Is that good? I don't know.
For a lot of obstructions on satellite internet? Yeah. Like, satellite used to be, like, very, very slow.
Huh.
Now it's high-speed internet.
Well, I don't know what 50 megabytes is. That's like a...
That used to be, like, the top-tier fastest speed in, like, 2005.
I only think of a memory stick, though, a USB
megabytes per second. It's the speed at which data is transferred.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so good stuff. We'll definitely be able to stream and watch everything when we're not out exploring.
Well, subscribe and review us, Georgia Living Podcast.
Please.
We're on Apple as well as Spotify. They're both Georgia Living on there.
Yep. You can find us on YouTube as well. Just search Georgia Living, or East Cobb Evans is our username on there.
You get to see us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fun to look at. She's prettier. I'm not. But we will be back here next week with another episode of Georgia Living. Thanks for tuning in as always. And stay cool. See you later.
Bye.